All right, how's it going, everybody? Marvel Rivals came out like a week or two ago, and I've already played like 80 something hours of the game. I feel like I can do a genuinely good tier list right now, giving my opinion just on all the time that I've played and all the characters I've seen, tournaments and good players use and bad players use. This obviously, I'm gonna just be doing it as my opinion, like not the pure objective tier list, whatever, but this is gonna be casual and competitive considered. So I'll just start with the first character on the list. I'll go with Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock's definitely going straight to A tier. His instant healing feels super amazing to use. He's the first healer that I was really using when I played this game, starting out for a long time. I think I have the most hours on him as well. And his ultimate is obviously reviving everybody. It's extremely clutch if you use it at the right moment. His pairing ability with Mantis and Star-Lord gives them a free extra revive if they die. I've seen Adam Warlock at the highest level in tournaments and people using him with Mantis and Star-Lord and stuff like that. He is definitely A tier. He's good, but I feel like as a solo healer, he just can't keep up because his E move only has 2 heals. It does chain with everybody, but in the heat of battle, you just need constant spam for healing. So I'm gonna have to put him A tier just because of that. All right, so Black Panther, I'm gonna have to put him at A tier. The reason not S tier, he could be S tier potentially. It's like A plus or S, whatever. The reason I'm not putting him higher is because you do have to go inside of like the enemy's complete area and you have to kind of rush the back line, and if you mess up your shift move, his dash, even though you do get armor from it if you do get the hits, if you mess up at all, you're just instantly dead. And then especially if you used your E like spin move, like I said, he gets armor when he dashes through people and throws his spear. He can just constantly dash spam through everybody when they have the little spear mark above their head. And a lot of characters like Luna and Mantis can just instantly sleep him. Especially Mantis, she can just throw that stupid sleep thing, and it's like a huge AoE hitbox for that sleep, and you're just pretty much dead instantly. Versus other characters that like Hela and stuff like that that can shoot from afar and stay safe. Black Panther kind of has to take that risk. All right, so Black Widow. I'm not gonna cap, dog. Every time I see a Black Widow, on the other team, I always just see them as like a free kill because I'm a Spiderman main. Forgot to say that at the start of the video, but I main Spiderman. I have the most hours on him by a long shot from all the other characters. And whenever I see a Black Widow, I mean, obviously she can snipe you in the head if you're trying to use your E as Spiderman and rush in at them. Black Widow, I feel like there's no point in using her when there's characters like Hela, Psylocke, Moon Knight, other characters that can do way more damage and have better mobility to survive, and other tools. Her ult just like slows people down in the area. It doesn't do like super crazy amount of stuff like other ults in the game. I just feel like she's underwhelming, but I mean, she's not terrible. Like every character in this game is good. You can use any character in the game. It doesn't really matter which character you use. It only matters like at the highest level. You can definitely get to like Grandmaster with Black Widow probably, and you just have to, be extremely good with aiming, but you might as well do it with an easier, better, way better character that does like the same thing, but just better. All right, so Hulk, I'm tempted to put in S tier, but I'm just gonna put him at the top of A tier for now. It's just very hard to kind of decide, slight little bits between A and S because they're just good. You can see it at any type of perspective that'll change your decision from A or S, but I'm gonna put him at A for now just because Hulk has, the shield thing, his gamma shield thing that he can do on himself to protect himself and his close by teammates, which is really good for pushing people and fighting people. Like if you have a teammate close, you pop the shield. He has his Hulk clap thing. He has the team up with a couple of characters like Iron Man, which makes them extremely good. Matter of fact, I'll just put him S for now, just because I feel like he does have a lot of really good stuff, especially if you pair him with another tank. I feel like he has a lot of really good stuff about him. His health is really high, and whenever you're fighting Hulk and he's about to die at any moment, he can pop his ult when he's about to die as Hulk, and then he can just instantly go back to max health, and he goes like berserker mode and does a lot more damage, and he's really hard to take down. His only like slight flaw is that he has to like really be in your face punching you and stuff, but as long as you have a good team comp around him, it's gonna be just fine. All right, Captain America, I'm gonna just put him at B tier. The reason he's not higher and stuff is because it feels kind of underwhelming or not as good as the other tanks in the game. He has a shield, which is really annoying to deal with, but he doesn't do anything super extraordinary, like doing crazy damage or anything like that in order to kill people. He can like throw a shield, dash into you, and then his ult, I think, gives armor to people around him and stuff like that. But I just feel like his damage is pretty underwhelming. He has to punch you right in your face, and he doesn't have that much health to go along with it like Hulk does. And his shield is pretty good, but it wears out really quickly from when I tried using him. And just in comparison to other tanks in the game, I just feel as though there's better tanks. Overall, I'd put him at B tier, maybe at the bottom of A, but I'll leave that there for now. So Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger is kind of hard to rate because she can go into the other mode where the guy just starts killing. She also has her, you know, moves where she grabs your teammate that's close by and then she puts him invisible and like hides them away. Yesterday, literally, I was fighting, I think 5 damage people and maybe 1 tank and then 1 Cloak and Dagger, and the Cloak and Dagger was keeping all of them alive, and I could not kill the Cloak and Dagger as Spider-Man because she kept going invisible, and I would try to bait it out and then ult her after I baited her out. I ulted her and she still survived. I'm gonna put her definitely S tier. I think she's extremely good. Like I said, the invisibility thing is really good for staying alive, and she can damage. She can do the best of both worlds, killing and, you know, healing, and her ult puts healing on the floor everywhere for everyone to just get healed by touching it, and then it damages the enemy team. Doctor Strange, easily going into the OP tier. OP, I didn't explain it earlier, just overpowered characters that I believe have too much overall strength in the game that need to get nerfed, in my opinion. Doctor Strange is definitely clearly the best tank in the game. His portal is extremely ridiculous if you use it. You know, you guys have probably seen clips all over Twitter and YouTube and all that of people putting a portal right in front of the spawn room. People walk through it and then they instantly fall to their death. Just having utility of something like that is already extremely good and makes him very different from all the other tanks in the game. But not only that, the most ridiculous thing that I really hope gets patched in this game, have you guys seen where Doctor Strange puts a portal right in the spawn room of the enemy team and then another one on the other side of the spawn room of the enemy team, and nobody is literally able to do anything on the enemy team? They're completely stuck there and they can't do anything, and then they just capture the point for free or push the payload for free and win. I mean, that needs to get nerfed or taken out. That's so lame and toxic in my opinion. The fact that the other tanks in the game don't have anything like that except for Groot maybe, but his E move that does a little explosion around him that charges up while you're hitting people also is extremely good for damage. Doctor Strange definitely feels as though he does the best damage as a tank in the game. His ult is extremely good when you press it, when you're around a horde of, you know, enemies and stuff like that, or just a couple of people. It's huge AoE area. Everyone's spirit comes out. And I actually saw a clip that people's hitboxes aren't just like doubled, but because their soul and their body is there, his E move actually does double the damage. Doctor Strange is clearly the best tank in the game. Okay, Groot. I haven't played much Groot myself, but I have seen enough of him and I know his abilities enough to say that he is definitely really good. I think he has the highest health in the game with his walls and all that sort of stuff. Groot has a lot of really good utility at placing walls to block off the enemy team when they're coming in to try to capture the point and stuff like that, especially in clutch moments where, you know, there's a couple of seconds left and the Groot can just block off the enemy team. Groot has really high health, and with his walls, he can combine his damage and do a whole bunch of damage with his walls where it just kind of insta-kills whoever's in that area of the walls. His damage is really good. It has really long range. His ult is kind of like Doctor Strange's where anyone nearby gets kind of sucked in. I definitely put him S somewhere because of that utility factor and other stuff that he can do. Okay, so Hawkeye. Definitely, I'm gonna put him at the top of S. I don't think he's like broken or anything. I know you guys, if you've played this game at all, you've gotten like randomly sniped in the head by a Hawkeye, literally just shooting at the crowd of people and spamming it, and then he kills you with a random headshot when he's just like spamming. Clearly, one of the best DPS in the game. Does not require as much effort as the other characters. He's probably 1-star difficulty. He can do, I think it's 400 damage to a tank in the head, which 2 bullets and they're dead for almost every tank in the game unless they're getting insta-healed in that moment. But basically 2 or 3 shots from Hawkeye to a tank and they're dead. The fact that it can one-shot every single squishy in the game, which I guess is understandable. It's an arrow to the head. He also 2 shots every, you know, squishy to the body, you know, every 250 or 300 health character. All right, so now along with Hawkeye, which we all love these two, is definitely Hela. I'm gonna even put her maybe above Doctor Strange. I guess I'll put Doctor Strange there because the tank is overall probably more important to the entirety of the team, and the fact that he has the portals and can do so much. Hela, definitely the best pure killing character in the game. This character is so annoying. I can't wait for her to get nerfed. First week of this game, bro, before I even say anything, first week of this game, I barely saw anybody use Hela. And then after the tier list came out, after, you know, people saw competitive and ranked, I see every match is a Hela. And I know they're all just tier whoring, bro. Hela, her damage is ridiculous. She 2 shots every squishy in the game, or every 250, 300 health character, whatever. She does ridiculous damage for a headshot too. It's like 200 damage, something like that. She has pure hit scan, just goes across the map, barely any damage drop off for how far she's hitting her bullets. And she has a movement ability, which she goes in the bird, which you can't even hit her. I'm almost 100% sure you cannot shoot the bird and do damage to her when she's in the bird mode. She can just escape and fly away, and she can glide in the air and be in the sky and have all of that mobility to just continue shooting more shots and just tapping left click and aiming. She also has a stun move which can kill any squishy in the game. Like, let's say there's a Spider-Man on you, the biggest prey for Hela. If Spider-Man does his E move on you where he like dashes into you and she just presses her E move, she can just get a free kill every single time on a character like that because they can't use any abilities, you can't move. Her right click can also be comboed in there, shooting those little swords and do damage. But not only that, the thing that's the most annoying to me about her is the fact that her ult, oh my god, man. Me playing quick play, right? I keep going up against Helas that all they do is sit in the back of the map, shoot at your head or your body, whatever. They farm their ult, and the moment they're one shot, about to die, and I'm about to kill them or something, and like I said, I use Spider-Man, so I go into her, she's one shot, she flies away with the bird and instantly ults and gets 1,000 health to just start doing insane damage to everybody. And once you kill her, when she's in the ult, she doesn't even actually die. She goes back to her regular form, unlike almost every other ult in the game. For example, Spider-Man's ult. He uses his ult, he can get out of it by getting grappled. Hela has to completely take the damage up there. There's nothing that can stop her except damage on her. And then when she gets out of that, even though it's literally her body, she goes back to her body and she can just keep playing without ever having died. Other characters can all die while in their ults, except for Hela. I feel like she's broken. I feel like her damage needs to get nerfed. Her ultimate needs to get nerfed. All right, so Iron Fist. Iron Fist, I'm gonna put C tier. Definitely better than Black Widow. Iron Fist, I know a lot of people think that he's broken, and he's very, very annoying to deal with, like especially if you're like a healer or something and you have no movement options. And Iron Fist is literally just holding left click in your face and getting armor as he's just spamming you with punches, and then your team is like doing other stuff and can't help you. But that's the thing, right? If you do have your team or you're playing with a couple of friends, you know, you tell them, yo, Iron Fist is on me, and someone has like Hela stun move, or Luna ices or ice freeze on Iron Fist and he gets frozen. Mantis sleeps, anything like that, he's instantly dead if your team just focuses on it. It's kind of a team thing. Overall, Iron Fist just isn't good enough. He gets in your face, yeah, he does damage, but if anything, he could be a B tier. I know that he's pretty decent, but like, okay, like if we're talking casual level, then I'll do this, right? But I'm just gonna say overall, if you just freeze him or stun him or shoot him in the head when he's in front of you, he can't do anything. Okay, so Iron Man, my second favorite character in the game. I'm gonna actually put him at A tier. I'll put him at the bottom of A tier. I've seen like tier lists where people put him like as the worst character in the game or like one of the worst and stuff like that. Even at the highest level, I saw a tournament where both teams were actually using Iron Man, but they were using him with the Hulk pairing. And the damage that he gets on his right click where he's shooting the beam out of his chest is insane. And when he uses his E move where he charges up, the armor activation move, he gets infinite ammo. Like he can just spam his left click bullets and shoot at people, the ray out of his chest, and get insane damage, and he can shoot the missiles. But with the Hulk gamma radiation help, he gets so much help from that and so much damage. Like he can really go crazy. And the utility of having a character that can just be up in the sky and reliably get away for the most part, and he can really gather a lot of damage and a lot of kills and be really good for overall opening up the game for your team by just doing so much damage while your team is basically in their face, focusing them, especially with the tanks and whatnot. And if you're getting healed as Iron Man and the healers are seeing you, because obviously at a lower level of the game they might not be paying attention to the sky, which obviously as Iron Man you can get so much damage, but if your healers are healing you, you can get insanely enabled, especially if you have Hulk. So yeah, Iron Man's really good, and his ultimate can just one shot Luna, which I think it's the only ultimate in the game that I know so far. Obviously it's early game. That Luna Snow, obviously we know that her ult lasts I think 12 seconds and nobody can die at all when she's in her ult, which means they all crowd to her circle. But Iron Man, as far as I've seen, is the only character that his ult actually kills Luna Snow in her ult and kills everyone around her, of course, because it just kills everything. Okay, Jeff the Shark. I'm gonna put Jeff the Shark right here. I'm gonna put him, yeah, above Adam Warlock as a healer and Iron Man. If anything, Adam Warlock is better. These are interchangeable, so don't think too hard on this placement. But it's about there. I'll put him above him just because, in my opinion, I'll make a tier list video on ultimates. Jeff the Shark has the best ultimate in the game, and the reason why I say that, well, at least for offensive purposes, for killing, his ult is literally, and I play Spider-Man, dude. I play Spiderman, and I'm telling you, it is inescapable, that ult. You cannot escape it. If you randomly hear nom, nom, you aren't already zipping away as Spider-Man. If you're not a character that can move like that, like Moon Knight or something, or teleport away, you're just screwed. Because if he wants to get you in his zone, he's going to get you in his zone. There is zero time to react. It's literally genuinely uncounterable unless someone uses their ult on Jeff when he goes and swallows everybody and has his fin swimming, because he's also healing. You can't kill him while he's in that. You just can't. You have to ult it with Iron Man or another Jeff the Shark ult or Spider-Man's ult. So it's basically free kills every time for Jeff the Shark. I'm sure if you guys have played this game for more than like 10, 20 hours, you know what I'm talking about. My opinion, it's literally the best ult in the game, and his healing is extremely good. He spams like a beam of water that heals everybody, and he can spam bubbles everywhere that the team can go to and get healed by. Jeff the Shark is actually really good. I just feel as though his ultimate needs to get nerfed, as in like giving people more reaction time. Okay, so now Loki. In my opinion, Loki is also around A tier. I'll put him actually above even Black Panther, maybe before him. But like I said, a lot of these are pretty much interchangeable because they're so close. Loki is extremely good. He is my favorite healer in the game. What I think about Loki is that not only can you kill reliably with Loki, but the fact that Loki is able to get anybody's ult from looking at them is insanely good for, you know, everything in my opinion. So let's say there's an Iron Man on their team just cooking, and no one in your team is killing enough, they're not doing enough damage, and Luna Snow pops her ult. You as Loki, place a couple clones down, you could teleport to one of them or something. You could quickly take the Iron Man, which I've done. I've taken the Iron Man, everyone's on the point on the enemy team. I take the Iron Man and they don't expect me to do this. I do it instantly. Take Iron Man's ult and I instantly ult on the point, and everybody on the point is dead. He has his clones that are really annoying and obnoxious to shoot at. If you see your enemy teammate far away from you, you could press his E and click a clone right next to them from far away. And then you could click your shift move, and they're pretty much indestructible in that shield bubble thing, or in the green bubble. His right click makes him go invisible, and he can just stay invisible if he wants to. His damage is pretty decent, but he needs all of his clones to be active with him. Okay, so now Luna Snow. I think Luna Snow is either in the overpowered tier or at the top of S. I'm gonna put her at the top of S because I don't think she's overpowered. Okay, I think that her ult is overpowered. You know, like I said, like the 12 seconds ultimate is way too long. I think it needs to get nerfed down a little bit of time, like a couple of seconds, you know, down to 8 seconds or something like that. Her ult just lasts way too long, and literally you can't do anything. You just have to wait it out, because I think literally every ult except for Iron Man's ult, like I said, can't do anything against Luna Snow's ult. Like, you just literally have to wait it out, or you guys leave the point and just get out. If it's on overtime or something, you just lose. Like, you can't do anything. It's only because of her ult, because for example, her freeze move that freezes somebody, it takes skill to aim it at people, and her shot takes skill to aim at people. Like Mantis' sleep, which I'll talk about later, it has such a big range of a hitbox that it hits, but Luna Snow's takes skill. Her healing isn't too overpowered. She can spam heal people, but it doesn't do insane amounts of healing. And her shift move is the only way that she can heal herself. Her E move, which is where she puts like the ice thing on one of your teammates, I think gives them extra defense attack power. And that is extremely good when you have a specific plan for your team when it comes to amplifying another player. Okay, so Magik, I'd say Magik is A tier. She isn't anything too crazy. I'll leave her A tier. She could be seen as better than Black Panther and more consistent with damage. It just depends on the way that you look at it. Magik's consistency for damage and stuff is really good, and her movement, like just like Black Panther, she has a getaway option, you know, I think it's her E move where she dashes away. So Magik's sword does really good damage. Nothing too crazy, but she gets armor when she does her swing moves, and she's teleporting around and swinging around like crazy when she does the teleport. She can't get hit while she's in the teleport, but I think she might be able to get healed, if I'm not mistaken, while she's teleporting. Her ult is pretty good. I feel like it gives you consistent damage and really good, reliable kills, unless they use the defensive ult. And just the fact that she gets armor while she's hitting people, and obviously you need your team comp to be good. You need to get healed and all that, because you have to be in people's faces, and she can get some really fast kills. All right, so Magneto. So Magneto with the Scarlet Witch buff, I would say is at the bottom of S, or maybe above Groot. But without it, I would say A tier, but let's just say it's with it. I'm gonna put Magneto around here. So the reason Magneto is really good with the Scarlet Witch on her team is because he gets a move that allows him to do a sword slice that shoots like a ray beam or whatever of a sword slice at people. and it does a lot of damage, and Magneto without it is so ass for damage. Like, his damage is so buns without it. Like, I was trying to play Magneto for a while. He was like the tank that I thought that was the coolest, but his damage was just so terrible without having that extra damage from the Scarlet Witch that I just would never use him unless one of my friends used Scarlet Witch. That move really allows you to genuinely get kills reliably, and it even allows you to kill healers because you can shoot at them from far away. And he has the shield. His shield can actually block ultimates, including Iron Man's ult, which is extremely good, of course, to have that. And he can bubble somebody with his shield and they'll just be protected and they can just get healed while they're in it. The only thing that I don't like about Magneto, last thing, is his ult really sucks to me. The ult just sucks so much to me. Every time I've used it, it just barely does any damage. All right, so Mantis, I'm gonna put even above Hela. And the reason why I'm putting her above Hela, which I know sounds crazy, is because imagine a character that can do what Hela does if you're good enough, if you're aiming well. It's not as easy and as like effortless as Hela because her bullets are a little different and the hit range isn't as easy to hit. But this character can spam her left click shooting and get insane damage. I'm sure if you guys, like I said, have played this game for any amount of time, like 20 plus hours or anything like that, you've gone up against or had a Mantis on your team that has like 30 kills, 20,000 heals, and a whole bunch of assists and like no deaths. That is just ridiculous. She heals herself passively. She can boost her own speed and I believe damage, if I'm not mistaken. And she can boost other people's defense. I don't know if it's defense and attack and speed, but I know it's for sure speed. But regardless, she buffs them by the inspiration thing, which is extremely good utility, you know, for teams. Like her right click, you can throw it at somebody, which is her healing orb. They can literally be like behind a wall. They can leave totally far away. Like an Iron Man can just fly away from you and you give him a healing orb. Her ult is also like Luna Snow's. Can get killed by Iron Man's ult, but she gets everybody buffed defense and constant health. It doesn't last as long as Luna Snow's, but it's still extremely good. It's like the same thing. Everybody gets armor, unkillable. She's definitely the best healer in the game because she can also get kills. Her sleep, of course, has insane amount of range. If you hit it on a Spider-Man, you can literally, if you hit it on anybody, you can just walk up to them and shoot their head. You literally just, it has so much time. I forgot to say this. Luna Snow's freeze is like 7 seconds. It's way too long. They need to nerf the amount of time that you're frozen or slept for in this game. She has time to literally line herself up, line her crosshair, shoot them in the head twice, and kill every single character in the game, I think. Unless they're getting healed or something, of course. Okay, Moon Knight. So Moon Knight, I'm gonna put here. I actually think that he's extremely good. I mean, it's obvious, right? You get in a match, the dude puts an unk or whatever they're called, and he just, it's so brain dead, dude. He just throws that thing, right? And he has a zone around it, that little unk thing, whatever, and he just shoots at it, and then he kills everything inside of that range and outside of it because it's just stupid. Even if you're dashing outside of it, you still get hit by it, trust me. It kills you instantly by just left clicking a single area. You don't even have to aim at people, but if you do aim and shoot at people, you do insane damage. I can't tell you guys how many times as Spider-Man I get instantly killed by Moon Knight out of nowhere randomly. His ult is extremely good. He has really good movement. His jump and then dash, where he's in the air gliding, is really good. He's easily killable when he's flying in the air, but just having movement option like that is really good, and his ult is really good. I think his damage needs to get toned down. It's just ridiculous getting one shot instantly in literally less than half of a second from him just shooting at one of his zone thingies. All right, so Nemor, I'm gonna put him A tier. He has really good utility for overall team comp because let's say, for example, you have the Penny Parker on your team and she has a whole bunch of mines placed down and all that sort of stuff, and then you have Nemor with a whole bunch of squids or whatever shooting at people. They do obviously probably like really low amount of damage, but overall in the heat of battle, while you're, you know, focusing on the enemy team and you're not focusing on the squids because you don't have time to kill and shoot them, especially if you're Spider-Man. His ult is really good, especially paired with an ult like Doctor Strange's ult. You just literally team wipe. Okay, Penny Parker. It's kind of hard to say, but I'll put Penny Parker almost at the top of S. So Penny Parker, every single game I play in this game, which is fine, you know, she's not very annoying. Like, she's not super broken or something. Is in every game that I play nowadays. I don't know why people love playing this character, but they just throw random bombs everywhere. I don't even understand what I'd be getting hit by sometimes with this character. But she has her little trap thing in her spiderweb area that shoots out like random blasts if someone walks by it on the enemy team that just insta-kills you if you're a squishy. Her ult is really good. Just, it's really annoying when she screams her ult. I can't be the only one that hates her high-pitched voice. When she goes in her ult and just starts running around, she obviously damages you. She gets armor and like shield, whatever, from popping her ult, and then gets a bunch of damage on everyone around her. I mean, she could be A tier, but I've seen enough of of her to say that, I mean, if anything, I'll put her here. She isn't too crazy. Like I said, she's not like broken or anything, but her mines are really good. You can just insta-kill people or get insane damage on people just throwing the mines down and leaving them there, and then putting all the traps all over the place and putting them all on the point and the capture objective and whatever. She's really good. She could be above Magneto overall, but she's nothing too crazy. Okay, so Psylocke. Psylocke, I'll put Psylocke above Moon Knight. So the reason I put Psylocke above Moon Knight and I put her at one of the best DPS characters is she isn't like super broken or anything. She is extremely good. But she isn't like overpoweringly strong, but she is overall, I think, better in a team or a competitive aspect or just in casual whatever than Moon Knight, because not only her ult I feel is more consistent than Moon Knight's for 1 or 2 kills. I mean, obviously at a lower level you're gonna get like 3-4 kills with her ult. At a higher level you can just bank on trying to kill the healers and just moving forward with her big zone on her ult, and she slices all of them. And you can reliably force a defensive ult from Luna Snow or something, or Mantis, or you just get a kill on the healers, which is really good. And the thing is that she builds her ult extremely quickly because you're just constantly shooting at tanks and stuff like that. You can teleport with her by going invisible and dashing. She has really good mobility. Her dashing, her shift move is really good, has really good damage on it. She has really good combos with her left click into right click. Her regular left click into her right click into like a dash or something like that. I don't know, something like that does really good damage on one-shot squishies. Her headshot damage and up close damage is extremely good. Like I said, she builds her ult extremely fast, and you can go invisible when you're getting shot at if you save it. It only has like 8 or 10 seconds of cooldown, her invisibility thing, but it's really good and reliable to get out of pressure and go and heal up. She's just very reliable at a high level or at the lowest level of the game, you know, just casual. Punisher, I feel like could go above these two just because he's like so reliable, and he just has to be, in my opinion. Because like, sure, Black Panther, you know, with lots of skill, you can destroy the whole team. I know you can. Like, he could, if you're extremely good, he's S tier. The thing is, I've had too many games where someone's using Punisher and just literally holding left click with his turret. And sure, he's very vulnerable in his turret. Me as Spider-Man, I always just go in, swoop in, and kill him. Unless he shoots me, then I'm instantly dead, obviously. But if I go above him and I swoop in and kill him, he can't really do anything because he's just sitting on it and he doesn't have enough time to react usually. He has pretty good mobility with his zip line. His ult is good, just instantly minigunning people. Insane damage on that. He can get so many kills so easily just holding left click. And yeah, like I said, his turret, you can literally just sit down somewhere, and if your team is guarding you and pressuring the team, he can just get free insane damage. I feel like he's just reliable. All right, so Rocket Raccoon. I'm gonna put the Raccoon. Yeah, I'll put the Raccoon right here below the Shark. Maybe he could be above, whatever, but Raccoon, in my opinion, is actually the best pure healer in the game, right next to Jeff the Shark. With his ultimate, throws his like thing, and everyone near it gets a damage boost and all that, which is extremely useful for winning fights and stuff like that. And his pure healing, like spamming the orb that bounces all over the place, is extremely useful. Because let's say he can't reach you, like you're behind a wall or something. Adam Warlock can't heal you behind a wall or too far away. But his orb as Rocket Raccoon, he can shoot it super far away and it'll still touch the teammate or be near enough to where they'll get healed. Or he can shoot it inside of a room and heal whoever's in there and just spam a whole bunch of orbs in there. His healing is insanely good. His minigun isn't very good. His killing by himself isn't very good, but he's extremely good as a pure healer. And he has the ability where he can throw down armor packs and give his teammates 25 armor, which is really useful, especially as Spider-Man, like I said, who I use, that has very low health and gets killed very easily. A little bit of extra health is really useful. He has the reviving thing that he has where he puts down a little whatever, I'm not sure what it's called, but he throws down something and then a teammate can get revived on it, and then I'm sure it just has some sort of cooldown and he can throw it down again. It's extremely useful in a fight and doesn't take an ultimate like Adam Warlock's. Rocket Raccoon just relies a lot on his teammates and doesn't have that damage, so that's why he just can't be higher, but he's extremely good as like a pure healer. Okay, so Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch might be around here. These are pretty much interchangeable. I mean, if you have extremely good aim, obviously Black Widow is gonna be here. Matter of fact, I'll just leave it like that. I'll even do this because Scarlet Witch has actually pretty good movement. If anything, I would even put her here. But the thing is that she doesn't get burst damage, you know what I mean? Like, she can't quickly burst you into a kill. She can get slept and all that and get pretty much insta-killed. I think she has 250 health or something. Not exactly sure. It's either 250 or 275. Her movement's really good with like flying around and gliding, and she goes in like her spirit form or whatever and into her orb and isn't shootable there. Her ult is good, but it just requires a Magneto orb, which I was doing when I was playing with my cousin. He was using Scarlet Witch. So I don't know. Regardless, she's good, but the fact that she can't get pure burst damage with how insane healing, yeah, this is pretty much interchangeable here for sure. Because with how insane the healing is in this game, especially at a high level, when the healers are extremely dialed in and are aware of everybody. Because at a low level, she's really good. She's like A tier at a low level, I'm not gonna lie. But overall, like I said, she just doesn't get enough quick damage, and she does have like her orb stun move that does good damage. But like I said, if the person's getting healed, it's not gonna do anything, and then she has to hold her left click or R2 whatever and just do damage. I feel like she just doesn't do enough quick damage is pretty much the basis of it. Okay, Spider-Man, my guy, my main in this game, like I've said. So Spider-Man going straight to B tier. I really hope that this character gets buffed. The thing about Spider-Man is that I feel like, obviously, I'm like biased towards him because I've played a lot of him, so I'm able to see his flaws much more than everybody else playing the game that isn't using him. Spider-Man's movement is obviously insanely good, especially if you get used to it and you're really good at it. The only thing is that when you're really dialed in, locked in, fighting people, his cooldowns feel as though they take so long, surprisingly, even though they do charge up actually fast. But because you need every single thing that he has, his E-move grapples people. I'm sure you guys have seen clips where he like jumps off the map, grapples somebody, and then they're just instantly dead unless they can jump and fly or something. That is extremely good. But then it takes 10 seconds to come back, which makes sense, but it's what you need to do. You need to use that in order to do damage from when they have the web on them. Because when they don't have the web on them is when you can grapple them away and then, zip them and they're, locked in. But when they have the web on them, you do amplified damage with any hit that you do, especially the uppercut. And his E-move, like I said, when he has the web, he goes into them, grapples way hard into them, like grappling hooks at them pretty much. And then you do the uppercut. At a higher level of the game or in general, the healers do so much quick healing, especially like Adam Warlock. Oh my God. If Adam Warlock's on the team and you're Spider-Man, you better be ready to work really hard. And if you have Venom, you're going to do a lot better, because you can reliably one-shot when they're not paying attention. You can shoot 2 webs at like the Adam Warlock, and if he's not paying attention, you quickly uppercut him and instantly go into the Venom and maybe get a kill. But if he's, focused or whatever, he just clicks his E and he gets his health back, and then his teammates come and you're dead. But basically, Spider-Man doesn't do enough damage. His uppercut is really good. It has a good amount of range. You can build your ult really quickly by zooming into the enemy team and just uppercutting, leaving. That's a good strategy that I use. But overall, it just feels like his cooldowns take too long. He dies way too easily with some of the characters like Hela and Mantis in this game with their stuns and whatnot. I just feel like he's too underpowered. Especially at a high level. At a high level of this game, you can use Spider-Man. You got to be really dialed in with your team, but you have to work very hard and you have to be very, very focused, because I'm telling you, at a high level, I've seen enough where the healers just do way too much quick healing and you cannot kill as Spider-Man unless you use your ult. But even then, you're not going to get a kill because they're just going to instantly grapple you, stun you out of your ult. You can get stunned out of it. You can get grabbed out of it. Like his ult is very easily counterable. Okay, Squirrel Girl. So my opinion, Squirrel Girl is like just decent. She does do really quick damage and kills, but she's nothing special. Like, why play her when you can play Black Panther, Punisher, or any of the characters in the higher tiers of DPS? Her ult is easily counterable by just jumping over it, getting away from it. Just has like a little line of squirrels or whatever coming at you. It's like a Junkrat or whatever, throwing the whatever she's throwing. It does good damage if you get the hits with it, but I just feel like overall, her on a team and stuff like that, she just doesn't do enough for me to really say that she's better than B tier. She just mid. Like, you would rather use like Iron Man or something with Hulk and just start blasting people and doing crazy damage while you're in the sky. She can jump up in the sky really good and has some mobility, but she's just nothing too crazy. I still think like Spider-Man's better. All right, dope character. So Star-Lord, I actually think Star-Lord is around here. He's like around here, in my opinion. The reason I say that is because I watched a tournament, a couple clips of a tournament, where the people in the tournament had Mantis, they had Star-Lord, and Adam Warlock. Those 3 characters, when they're together, he allows them to cocoon and heal themselves, which I talked about earlier in this video. Adam Warlock is extremely good with these 2 because, like I said, they get the revive, and you can just get right back into the battle. Star-Lord does crazy damage. His movement is crazy good. He can fly up in the sky, go anywhere. His right click move where he like dashes around and does like a quick dodge move obviously makes it harder to hit him, but not only that, but he recharges his bullets, kind of like how Tracer would do when she like teleports back or whatever. All of his kit is extremely good. The fact that he can revive himself, like I said, is extremely good. His damage is extremely good, some of the best in the game. You still have to be skillful with him with your aim. His ult is extremely good. I'm sure you've gotten killed by it plenty of times if you've played this game. He just flies up in the sky and just absolutely aimbots everybody. So Storm, I'm gonna put at the top of C. Maybe she's even worse than that because she's a flying character, right? So if you're playing good with your team and you have good team ups with her, I think she does a bit more damage than Iron Man for direct impacts, especially if you get headshots, but it's extremely hard to do because she moves so slowly in the sky, which makes it super easy to kill her. Like, she's pure food for Hela and Hawkeye and stuff. Her ult is really good. It gets just a whole bunch of kills if if obviously like the team is on it, but that's like her best thing. I mean, honestly, it's probably like this, obviously, considering if you have good aim with Black Widow. Yeah, I just think that she moves way too slowly in the sky. Like, you just feel like you're gonna get killed. Like, she's too slow is how she gets kills, and her abilities just, I don't know, she's just not that good. Iron Man, I feel like it's just a better version of Storm. So yeah, she's definitely not very good. Okay, so now Thor, another tank in this game that I feel like goes really good paired with another one. I'm gonna actually put him right behind Penny Parker. He could be above. Thor has to really get in your face to do damage, which obviously makes him, you know, really good because he can do damage there. But his shift move is really good where he, you know, throws his hammer. He gets 100 shield every time that he does that, which is extremely good, obviously. And I believe with a pairing with, like I said, most people use Hela now. I think when Hela's on the team with Loki and Thor, or either one of them, Hela gives them a team up pair up, which if she gets a kill after Thor dies, he gets revived, which is obviously extremely good to have on the battlefield, kind of like Mantis and Adam Warlock and stuff. Thor is just, he can just dive into the enemy team, and as long as he's getting healed, and especially, like I said, he's really good at when there's another tank in the lobby that's like able to, you know, do stuff like Doctor Strange, shoot at them and whatnot. But he's like a pure rushing tank. If you like to play, you know, basically he feels like a damage character, but as a tank. You're constantly getting armor for your moves. His hammers, you can throw them. He has like a thunder move that he puts thunder, like a thunder sphere around him that makes him do more damage. And he can start throwing hammer lightning. All right, so Venom, I believe Venom is, I believe he's A tier. Maybe not at the top of A tier. Like I said, it's really hard to rate this because right behind him are damage characters, but he's a tank. So it's like, you know, so I don't overthink the orders of everything. More just look at what I say about the characters and the area that I'm putting them at. But regardless, Venom is really good. He has good range on his left click move where he shoots the tentacles at people. It actually has a lot more range than you might think. His right click grapples people onto him, makes them take damage if they don't get out of it and they move slower. His ultimate is really underwhelming. It feels like one of the most underwhelming ults in the game. He doesn't have a shield or anything, but he has a self armor move. It's just a regular cooldown that comes back every time he dies, and if you're about to die, you can just pop that and get a whole bunch of armor. Gets like half of his health back in armor. Like I said, this is a character that I feel like is really good paired with another tank because he can't shield or do anything like that. He needs like Doctor Strange to be the shield for your team to push forward, because you can dive as Venom, but you're probably just gonna die and get slept and all that. Just needs another tank on the team, in my opinion, to really shine. Other than that, he's going to get killed really fast because he's just going to be way too big of a hitbox and he doesn't do enough damage. All right, so Punisher is extremely good and extremely reliable. I feel like he's not really broken, but he is extremely annoying. I got killed by him from him doing his, I think it's his E move where he thrusts into you really far and like is supposed to like hit you in the air slightly a little bit. I've literally gotten killed with his thrusting like pushing move off the map, literally just getting pushed by it. Me and my friend, he was on my team, obviously he was using Mantis and I forgot who I was using, but he just pushed me and him and we both died and fell off the map. He has extremely good utility. I'm gonna put him here. I feel like overall he's just way too reliable. Just if your aim is good or obviously great, you're going to do extremely good with the character. He's just very reliable to get damage, to build his ult. You can just constantly shoot the tanks and whatnot. Obviously, you guys have seen the memes of, again, his ult, where he can just slam on the person, kill them, and still get his ult back after a couple seconds, do the again thing again. He's just very reliable. He has combos that, like I said, he grapples them to you. he just gets a headshot like that. It's a free kill for squishies that aren't getting healed, especially like Spider-Man. If he hooks you, shoots you in the head, and does the pushing thing. All right, so Wolverine. One of my favorite characters in the game. He's in my top 4 favorite characters in this game. Super fun to play. So the thing about Wolverine is that he is actually not trash. He's actually good. I was watching Necros play with Wolverine, and I was surprised to see that he's actually good, because you would think he's trash, right? Because you have to get in people's faces, and you have to use his dive bombing move where he's, you know, going crazy, and then he gets the flurry slices. That's the only way you can really do damage. He builds his fury thing, which is really good because it increases the damage that you do over time for all of his moves. His right click is really good, you know, slices the air, and is good mobility. Actually, it's his best mobility. It only takes like 3 seconds to charge up, so you can constantly like move around the map, which is really nice that you don't have to wait super long. But yeah, like his dive bomb move takes like 10 seconds. That's where he gets his damage. But here's the thing, right? The utility of this character is to use his right click, dive into the tanks on the other team, and then instantly grab them and then dive bomb back to your team. Like, let's say you're pushing the payload, right? And you're on offense and you're pushing it. You can go in behind the team, the other team, the enemy team. You grab their tank into your team. Your team will see it and they'll start spam shooting him. They could sleep the character as they're getting up, because they can't use a move when they're on the ground. They can get slept by Mantis or something while they're on the ground, or when they get up and get slept and then just insta-killed. And regardless, just him by himself doing the flurry of slices does insane damage. He is a pure tank killer. That is what he is. You can grab healers and all that too, and they get killed. I'm not gonna lie. I think even at a higher level of this game, because of the Hulk team up, where Hulk can because like I said, it takes like 10 seconds or 15 seconds for his dive bomb move, where he gets the flurry slashes where he can grab somebody in the air and whatnot to come back. But with Hulk, it's he gets an extra one, and Hulk can constantly throw Wolverine into the enemy team with their team up ability, and he can constantly get the flurry slashes, which is extremely good to have, because you can just constantly dive bomb people, and then he has his actual dive bomb ability from his own cooldowns, and he can send them back to their team, and they're just screwed. And if he has 100% fury, he can do his ult and grab everybody like nearby and then just slam them. If he has 100, it does extra damage. A part of me honestly wants to put him even above Captain America and the best like B tier character. It's just like, the thing is at a high level, he can still reliably kill tanks with your team. He also has his ability where the moment he gets to 0 HP, it refills like every 80 seconds or so, where he gets health back and he survives, his like healing factor thing. It is every 80 seconds or so. So I'll just leave it at that. You guys decide on that. You guys let me know what you think on that. It's like way too precise on getting like the slight things on these characters when it comes to, you know, which character's better, like, especially like I said, these are all combined with all the roles. You guys let me know what you think. I'm just gonna end it here, this tier list. If you have a different opinion, just let me know. I want to have discussions with you guys, see what you guys think in the comments. If you think a character should be higher or lower. I think this is straight, bro. Yeah. We're gonna go with this tier list, bro. Please nerf these motherfuckers, dog. But that's it, bro. I'm out of here.